Hi friends, it's Megan from Forge Soap Co, and today I'm going to chat a little bit about my favorite books to use as resources for soap making. When I first started out, this was the most common book that everybody was using for soap making. In fact, it's one of the books that I actually used to teach myself how to make soap over 20 years ago. I don't use this book very much anymore, and the reason being is that the recipes now don't translate as well for the products that I make. For example, I think these are mostly palm oil based soaps in here, and a lot of people are sort of going away from palm oil. If you don't, that's okay. Like, you have to make the choices that are good for you and for your business. But this is certainly one that a lot of people start with. It's very comprehensive. It has a lot of information. Absolutely helpful when you're first learning. And when I was first learning, it was before we had as much information on the internet as we do now. One of the other very popular books that I see time and time again is this one by Anne-Marie from Brambleberry. She writes some very good books. I prefer her pure soap making to her other books, Soap Crafting. They're both good books. This one uses mostly what you would consider natural ingredients, so it talks about things like natural colorants, it has nice pictures, kind of fun recipes to follow, something a little bit different, and I would recommend it if you are definitely working with essential oils and clays and botanicals and things of that nature. Her soap crafting book I haven't used very often just because, I don't know, I haven't. But it's cool because she goes over different pours and things like that. When you're trying to teach yourself different methods, absolutely helpful. Also Soap Queen. The Soap Queen website has so much information, and obviously if you can't afford to buy books or whatever, online is going to be a huge boon to your productivity, your hobby, whatever it is that you're doing. If you are working with beeswax, if you're doing not just vegan soaps, but you're doing soaps that include beeswax or honey, this can be a helpful book. I find it to be helpful if you are working with those particular ingredients. You have some soap making, but they also have things like candle making, etc. I really like this book from Jan Berry, the founder of The Nerdy Farm Wife. She also has some really cool like e-classes that I've signed up for and I've done. She's helped me in learning to work with putting like fruits and vegetables and things like that in my soaps, which is primarily what I do. And she has a ton of not just soap recipes, but all kinds of other recipes. Look how cute these are. A lot of soap making basics. Again, a lot of the books have that included, so if you're just starting out or if you're still learning your craft, even have things in here like how to line a mold, because that can be tricky. A lot of great information like that. Also check out her online courses. They're pretty reasonably priced, I feel like, if you're just wanting to learn more and hone your craft. Something I use still, even now, even though I devise most of my recipes myself, is I still use this a lot. Amanda Aaron does Love and Soap Studio, and what I really like about this is these are ideas for like essential oil blends. I use both essential oils and fragrance oils. Sometimes I combine them, sometimes I do them separately, but this is really good because it has ideas on, you can see I write notes and everything. It's really helpful to give you ideas for different scent combinations, which also from Modern Soap Making, she also has a book, Smell Goods, which also talks about essential oil blends, because sometimes you can have a great idea for a bar of soap and you have an idea of the scent that you want to use, and this is applicable to lotions and other things too, but sometimes you just can't quite get the combination that you're looking for. So sometimes using a book like this for some inspiration can be super helpful to sort of solidify the idea that you have in your head. And like, it's okay to seek help. I would never say, oh, everything you do has to be 1000% original, because I'm sorry, in our industry, that's like really hard to do, because somebody somewhere has done some version of what it is that you're trying to do. It's okay to get ideas, it's okay to get inspiration, as long as you're not, obviously not copying something verbatim. Absolutely use things as inspiration and motivation and to spark ideas and creativity and sort of get the ball rolling, because just like other artists, sometimes we get stuck. Sometimes it's hard to find that creative flow. So the most important book you can have of all is your own recipe book. Now, I don't really use my old recipe book anymore, but I want to show you that I have had this recipe book at least 10 years. I used to do all of my own mathematical equations to figure out my soaps. That's what a lot of my current soaps are based on. So the date on that. right there, 2013 at least. It's really important to have your own recipe book. And if you're not into like writing things down like old school, they have programs that you can use. Make sure you print out your recipe, and it can be helpful to get some plastic sleeves. And I'm very unorganized. I'm not always the most organized person. I try to be, but you know, running a small business, it's sort of one of the caveats. Anyway, it helps to get yourself a plastic sleeve to be able to put your recipes in, and then you can get yourself a little binder. And I have all of my millions and millions and millions and millions of recipes in here, and it has all of my measurements, all of my essential oils. It tells me how much the product costs. I use Soapmaker 3, which is fine. I don't mind it. The problem with Soapmaker 3 is that it's only compatible with Windows, and I primarily use a Mac, so I have to have a whole other computer. I use this also to tell me what the, let's find one that actually works. Nope, 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 nope. Can we find one that is not completely covered in soap? That's why I like plastic sleeves. Because when you're soap making and you have this out, cool, like it's all covered in soap now. So it has, you can see it has the breakdown of everything. But also what's great is it tells me about the hardness, the fluffy lather, stable lather, and how moisturizing it is, and I can adjust that. In its Soapmaker, it will adjust the ratios and tell you everything. It also, on the second page, you can't see here, it gives you like the INCI name. So if you're listing those on your product or on your website, super helpful to have. But this also would go into the thing that I would say is the most important book that you'll probably have or use in your skincare business, is just having your own recipe book that is yours, that you can take notes in, you can write it down, you can share it with other people. If you ever have a friend to help you, or you hire an employee, it's really easy to say, hey, make this recipe. Again, I go back to what I said before. It's okay to ask for help. The reason that these people wrote these books is so that we can use them, make the products, use the products, sell the products. Something else really helpful if you're in skincare, Willow and Sage. And Willow and Sage is great. And it's cool because you can actually submit like recipes and stories and photos, and it's just different people. Some of them are business owners and some aren't. It's kind of fun to go and look and see what other people are doing. They're kind of expensive. I think they're like, what, 16, maybe more dollars each. I can find them at Costco has them, and they're a little bit cheaper. You can also get a subscription through Stampington & Company. So find the books that are useful for you, start a collection. Like I said, if you can't afford to buy a book, go to the library. The library for sure has stuff like this. That's what I used to do back in the day. Make your own book. Print out recipes online, collect them in a binder, in a folder, whatever you can do so that you have something tangible that can help you in your artist's journey. I have about 30 soap making books, and I just picked like a handful. I know Humble Me and Me is really good if you check out their website. Hello Glow is also kind of fun. They have a lot of natural skincare recipes. I'll link a few that I didn't mention down below in the comments, but let me know, what are your favorite go-to books? These aren't the only ones that exist. These are just some of the ones that I find helpful, that I still come back to even after several years of soap making. Hope that was helpful. If it wasn't, don't worry about it. Feel free to give a thumbs up if you liked it. Please don't give me a thumbs down because it would really bum me out. Keep scrolling if it's not your jam. Thanks so much, friends, and I will see you next time. Still going on. If you see my other videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about.